The conversations that we have with ourselves are the most important conversations that we will ever have with anyone in the universe, ever. Fact. My name is Iona Barker and I'm a consciousness coach, and I'm here to help you navigate through this crazy matrix that we seem to be living in this world right now. I help people to find within themselves the tools that we can use to draw out to make us move forward in a straight line and just have fun doing it at the same time. What we tell ourselves is extremely important, and what we tell ourselves has a huge impact on the way that our lives unfold, what we attract into our lives, how we look, how we feel about ourselves is also projected out into the world, and other people treat us in the same way that we treat ourselves. Okay, so in terms of self-talk, have a think about family members, parents, siblings, grandparents. How did they talk to themselves? If they spoke to themselves in quite a negative, disempowering fashion, then you have probably picked up that trait, and you will probably be talking to yourself in quite a negative fashion, and that will be impacting your life profoundly in such a way that it will be stopping you, it'll be limiting you from achieving your full potential and stopping you from being the most amazing, awesome version of yourself. With self-talk, one example is, I'm an idiot, I'm stupid, I'm ugly, I'm fat. These are just a few examples. I'm no good, I'm not worth it, I'm never going to make money. There's so many ridiculous things that we tell ourselves, but one really good rule of thumb to use with your self-talk is if you would never say it to a loved one, if you would never call your partner stupid, if you'd never call your child an idiot, you wouldn't call your pet, your beloved pet, ugly or not worth it. We would never say that to these people. So why should we say it to ourselves? They spend so much time and energy berating themselves and making themselves feel bad that they have convinced themselves of it. So if we tell ourselves the same thing over and over and over again, we're going to believe it because we're creating feedback loops in the brain, which will then turn it into connections. We're building these muscles, these connections, which will then just become immediate automatic thoughts that we will have going about our day, which are actually really damaging to us and our bodies. So calling yourself ugly, calling yourself unlovable, things like that, these are actually really damaging and shortening our lives. We don't even realize it, but we're actually shortening our lives by releasing chemicals in our bodies and brains for stress and anxiety. And in the long term, this creates problems, health problems down the line, and it can create a lot of tension and anxiety and stress in our everyday lives, and that then can rub off on other people. So our friends and family members and children, who are all very sensitive and very aware of how you're feeling subconsciously, will start to begin to act in the same way. So for example, if you have a parent or a sibling or a loved one that calls themselves stupid or tells themselves that they can't do something, then you're probably likely to subconsciously pick up on this and start to behave in the same way. But if you can stop that pattern, if you can break that pattern, call them up on it and say, why are you talking to yourself like that? Would you talk to me like that? Would you talk to anyone else like that? Stop it. Don't do it. Don't speak to yourself in any way that you wouldn't speak to anyone else. If you're going to call other people ugly and stupid, then you're probably not a very nice person, so just beat it. But apart from that, you really, really must be vigilant with the things that you're telling yourself. One amazing thing that you can do is give your negative thoughts a name. Give them a name so that when they come into your mind, they're not as threatening and they're not as volatile. So for example, I will call my conscious thoughts Vera, and I'm like, all right, Vera, here comes Vera. Or Gary, it's Gary again, what's he on about? So you're making you're minimizing, and you're really making these voices and these negative thoughts less threatening and therefore easier to shut out. And when you start to really work on yourself and bring out your blocks, bring out your negative thoughts, really start to be familiar with what your recurring thoughts are, what your recurring self-talk is, you will be able to observe them coming out, and you'll be able to stop them immediately, go, no chance, get out, get back to, get back in there, like, stop it. And that's such a really good way of just having fun with it and turning these negative, horrible, nasty, like, thoughts of unworthiness and ugliness and yuckiness, like, just getting them gone. Our self-talk with ourselves will either encourage us and empower us, or take us to a place of fear and self-loathing and victimhood and ego-driven, just yucky, low vibrations. So we want to be raising our thoughts, raising our vibrations, because as soon as we start to do that, we affect every single person in our environment, friends, family, pets, everything, everyone included. So the best thing that we can do is to tell ourselves supportive, kind, loving things. And people have a big issue with self-love because they see it as being egotistical, conceited, and just being cocky, and they're in love with themselves, it being vain. That's not the same thing. Self-love is you love yourself unconditionally, like you would a child or a pet or a loved one, regardless of how you've been in the past, what you've done in the past, taking all your bad stuff, taking all your good stuff and saying, you know what, like, I love me for me, no matter who I am, no matter what I've done, no matter where I've been. It's really taking your whole being and just showing yourself that you love yourself. And that is literally the first thing that you can do that will just bring your whole being up a level and into something that's kinder, more nurturing, more growth orientated. And as soon as you start doing this, other people will notice. So if you have children, for example, and you're now treating yourself with kindness and respect, how beautiful is it? How beautiful would it be for you to see your child respect themselves? Because remember, every single person is just copying what you're doing, subconsciously being sent messages from your brain all the time about what you're doing, what you're thinking. So if you're talking to yourself like, I'm an arsehole, I'm not a very nice person, I'm stupid, I'm disgusting, I'm fat, I'm ugly, your child is going to see you do that and going to copy and replicate exactly what you're doing, everything that you're saying. So as soon as you start respecting yourself, as soon as you start treating yourself with the love and the respect and the care that you deserve, your children will start to copy and replicate that, and they will start to treat themselves with respect, and they will grow up knowing that their parents loved themselves and respected themselves. So therefore, that's what they must do, because your child is beautiful. You know your child is, you tell your child, you're so beautiful, you're so wonderful, I love you, you're amazing, well done. But then you go and tell yourself, oh, I hate myself, I'm an idiot, I'm this and I'm that. And you're sending a completely mixed message there, So your child's going to take that mixed message and go, I don't know which way, should I be telling myself this? Should I be telling myself that I'm wonderful? Or should I be telling myself that I'm ugly? Like, it's just totally conflicting. And as soon as you start telling yourself that I'm a good person, I love myself unconditionally, I'm trying my best, a really good thing to be really easy with it, instead of saying like, I'm so stupid, you could say, I'm getting better, I'm doing better every day, and I'll do better next time. Next time I'll do so much better. And if you're thinking about embarrassing thoughts, that kind of when you're lying in bed at night, or if you start meditating, these little these gremlins, Vera or Gary, are going to pop into your head and go, do you remember that time you did that thing maybe 15 years ago? We're going to make you remember that thing, and you're going to remember it, and we're going to make you feel really ashamed and embarrassed for it. You can say to that thought and that feeling, that was 10 years ago, or that was last week, but I'm better now, and now I know, and that experience happened to me so that I could learn from it, and so that I could become a better person. So on that note, that is self-talk. And I really, really urge you to think about how you speak to yourself. Think about how you speak to other people. Because if you're telling yourself something completely different from the things that you tell other people, then it's time for you to reassess what you tell yourself. And it's time for you to start caring for yourself more and loving yourself more. Because how are we going to help heal the planet? How are we going to love each other more if we don't start right here. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you soon.